I walked into the bedroom to grab a flannel and caught the snap of movement before the door finished swinging. Lauren jerked her shoulders, thumb slammed at the screen, and the phone disappeared under her pillow like a guilty pet. She didn't even look at me, just stared at the wall as if the paint would rescue her. "Everything good?" I asked. "No heat, just air." She rolled her eyes, slow and theatrical. "Am I not allowed 1 minute of privacy?" The words came with a little laugh that wasn't a laugh. "Sure," I said. "Who's got VIP access to it?" "Don't start," she fired back. The jealous husband routine again. You get bored and this is the show. I crossed to the dresser and pulled out a shirt. I asked a question, and I said it's private. It was my sister. She folded her arms. "Which you'd know if you didn't have to audit every breath." "Show me." "Wow." She barked a short laugh. "This is pathetic. I'm not performing for you. I'm texting Jenna. Family. End of story." "Then open it." She shook her head. "No, because it's not about the text. It's about you needing control. That's not love, Mark. You want a phone inspection? Get a job at the airport." "We done?" I asked. "Neutral." She stood, chin up. "We're done when you stop making a scene. I'm not your employee." She brushed past me toward the bathroom. The phone stayed under the pillow. She kept her eyes somewhere near my shoulder the whole time, like I was a bright light she needed to avoid. I let her pass, folded the flannel, and took it with me downstairs. If I'd understood then where it was headed, I would have checked the fire exits on the way out. The next 3 days were polite as a memorial. She poured coffee, not for me. We ate in silence. Forks sounded like tiny hammers. She said she had to see her mom in Round Rock. Then her shift ran late. Then a second day of "we're short-staffed." Meanwhile, her phone developed a rare skin disease. It couldn't touch daylight. I noticed the new rituals. She started putting the phone face down everywhere, like it needed rest. If I walked into a room, her thumb twitched. She called her mom and went upstairs with the door almost closed. When I went to step in, she jammed it shut with a 1 second and stayed up there 20 minutes. I didn't chase. I took inventory. My job at the distribution center is building a picture from 1,000 small numbers. Home wasn't different. Facts first, feelings after. On the third day, I ate lunch in my truck behind the warehouse. Window cracked to let out the smell of reheated chicken and a good portion of my patience. The phone buzzed. Lauren's name on the screen. I opened it without a thought, then read it twice. He totally bought it was my sister. Men are so simple. You owe me for that. The second line hit me harder than the first. Not the content. People lie. It's a hobby, but the tone. The casual bookkeeping. The idea I was a customer in their little accounting system, paying into a fund called Mark's Trust. I stared at the text until the screen dimmed. Then I locked the phone and stared at the steering wheel. The cold part of me started moving boxes. What she wanted, what it cost, where the exits were. 2 hours later, I walked through our front door and smelled salmon. Candles were lit. A glass of wine waited at my spot like it had missed me. Lauren was at the stove in a silk top she wears on holidays. "Hey," she sang over her shoulder. "Peace offering." I figured we both needed to come down. "Nice setup," I said. I set my keys in the bowl and took off my boots. She plated the fish and turned with an apologetic smile that had probably worked on people since middle school. I know I was sharp. "I'm sorry. Work has been insane. Mom is leaning on me. And you." She reached for my arm. "We just got sideways." The text was Jenna. We were joking. "You know how sisters are." "I'm an only child," I said. "Right. But you know." She laughed, too quickly. It was a joke taken out of context. "I sent it to you by mistake." I panicked. "I should have told you immediately." "That's on me." "Read it again," I said. I pulled my phone, set it on the counter, screen up with her message. "Walk me through the joke." "It's sarcasm," she answered. "You know I do that. Men are so simple." I meant the opposite. "Like, we were teasing about you not noticing the mess of the garage, remember? It was dumb." I picked up the fork, cut into the salmon, then set the fork down. I saw the message. Her face froze like someone pulled the plug from behind it. Meaning you don't need to translate. The plain text is enough." She looked at the counter, then at me, then past me. It didn't mean anything. "Understood." I slid the plate back toward her. "I'm going to take a walk." "We should talk," she said, voice softening another degree. "We will," I answered. "But first I'm going to do something practical." I stepped into my office, closed the door, and opened the banking app, Maple Ridge condo glowed on the scheduled payments list like a guilty light bulb. I'd picked up that tab 2 summers ago after her dad's stroke, telling myself it was temporary, family, the right thing. Temporary somehow became normal. I canceled the auto pay, slid the savings transfer up to cover some projects I'd postponed, and closed the laptop. When I came back, Lauren was waiting by the sink, sleeves rolled, smile reheated. "Let's reset," she said. "I got tickets for that jazz thing on Saturday." "The condo," I cut in. "I'm done covering it." "You're joking," she said, but it wasn't a question. "No." Her voice jumped an octave. "My mother lives there. And she can keep living there," I replied, "by paying for where she lives. I've covered them for 2 years. I won't any longer." "This is punishment," she said. "You're punishing me because you got embarrassed by a dumb text." "This is clarity. I won't finance disrespect. You're overreacting. Maybe. Or maybe I'm late." She stared at the canceled candles. "So we canceled dinner and cut off my family. That's your fix." "I canceled the first," I said. "You've been working on the second for years." She opened her mouth, closed it, grabbed her wine, and took a sip too long. "We'll revisit this when you're calm." "I'm calm," I said. "That's why this sticks." She watched me for a count, then turned the music back on like that could rewind something. "We ate separately." She texted all night. I changed nothing. The call started the next morning. Patricia left 3 voicemails, each one longer and more wounded than the last. Jenna sent a paragraph with big sister energy and advice I didn't ask for. I put the phone on the counter and let it vibrate against the wood until it stopped. By noon, Lauren was in full PR mode. She hovered in doorways, brought me coffee, set her hand on my shoulder when she passed behind my chair. "You want lunch?" she asked. "I could run by your work. Bring something. I'll be fine." "Don't be stubborn," she said. "Let me do something for you. I'm all set." I ate in my truck again. Austin's son baked the dash. A knock on the passenger window broke the quiet. I looked over and found Jenna, oversized sunglasses and a look she'd probably practiced, the one that says she's not the bad guy, but she wouldn't mind if you were. I unlocked the door. She slid in with a takeout bag and a smile that showed concern the same way a billboard shows love. "Hi, Mark," she started. "I was nearby. Brought you a sandwich. I bring my own." She laughed. "Of course you do. You're reliable. Lauren says that about you all the time." "Does she?" "She does." Jenna twisted the lid off a bottle of water and handed it to me like she'd solved something. "Listen, this condo thing, rough. Mom is a mess. She doesn't understand what happened. Nobody does. Everyone understands," I answered. "They just don't like it." "Come on," she said. "You know how Mom is. She's fragile. She's resourceful," I countered. "She negotiated a rent-free life for 2 years." Jenna folded her arms. "It wasn't rent-free. It was family helping family. Then the family can balance the load." Her smile thinned. "You're better than this. You're not the guy who leaves people hanging. I'm not the guy who pays for people who laugh at him." She tilted her head. "Lauren told me you misread a text. She already apologized." "She told you that?" "She tells me everything," Jenna said, like it was proof of something noble. "She's scared, Mark. You're cutting things off, going cold." "It's not you." I unscrewed the water and took a drink. "What do you want?" "To help," she said. "To talk sense. To prevent a disaster. If you restart the payments for a few months, I can work on Mom, get her to sell some things, maybe move in with me. You live at the condo half the week." "That's not fair," she bristled. "I stay over sometimes to help." "Right." She put the sunglasses on top of her head so I could see the sincerity better. "I'm leveling with you. Lauren's fragile too. The last year has been hard, and not because of you, because of other things. She made some choices. We all do. You can punish everyone, or you can be a man and stabilize the situation. Being a man has never meant paying for the privilege of being laughed at," I said evenly. Jenna's voice sharpened. "Oh my God," she joked. "You never joke? You think you're perfect?" "Not remotely." "Then stop acting like you get to judge who's worthy of your support." She leaned back, studying me, and let impatience crack through. "Look, fine. You want truth?" She gave up a long time ago. She found something real, and she's happy for once. "You think money buys loyalty? It doesn't. So go ahead, hold the payments hostage. It won't bring you anything back." The words sat between us like a dropped wrench. She flinched after she said them, as if she'd heard herself one beat too late. I watched her realize she couldn't pull them back. Thanks, I said. That clears up the confusion. Don't twist it, she shot back. I didn't say. You said enough. She grabbed the takeout bag. I tried. Enjoy your moral victory. You too, I said. I stepped out of the truck and walked back to the warehouse. My manager, Luis, crossed my path with a clipboard and raised an eyebrow. Everything cool? Clarity day, I told him. Let me know if the afternoon loads shift. He nodded. You're running clean. Holler if you want to grab coffee. Back home, Lauren was waiting on the couch with folded hands. The look said pastor's office, more than living room. We need a family talk, she announced. Tonight. Define family. Mom and Jenna are coming. Tyler is giving them a ride. Tyler. I repeated. Her younger brother kept his opinions to himself as a rule. He runs a mobile detailing business and measures his words like they cost him. He's neutral, she said. He'll help keep the peace. Peace arrived at 7 p.m. with righteous faces and a lot of perfume. Tyler stayed near the door, hands in the pockets of a Carhartt jacket he wears even when it's warm. Patricia sat straight, chin stiff, purse clutched like it could file a complaint on its own. Jenna took a chair at an angle that let her watch me and Lauren at once. I stood, nodded. You all wanted to talk. Go ahead. Patricia inhaled as if she'd been cast for this role. I don't understand why we are suddenly enemies. We are family. Your father-in-law was a good man. He would be ashamed. This is how you choose to honor him. I covered the condo, the utilities, the repairs. I replied. 2 years. I'm not your enemy. I'm just finished being your sponsor. You're cruel, she answered. You enjoyed playing savior. Now you get to play executioner. Very dignified. Jenna jumped in, quick. Mom. No. Patricia held up a finger. He wants to be the tough guy? Fine. But let's not pretend he didn't promise to take care of us. Lauren spoke then, voice steady. Eyes on me. We came to ask you to reconsider. Temporarily. It's not forever. How long is temporarily? I asked. Until we get through this, she said. Define this. She glanced at Jenna and back. The adjustment. The changes with work. Mom's medications. It all hit at once. Lauren, I said, you know I do numbers for a living. When someone wants my money, I ask for a ledger. The ledger here says I've paid for your family's home for 2 years while you and your sister send messages about how easy I am to manage. That ledger is closed. Patricia snapped. You read Lauren's personal messages? That is disgusting. She sent one to me by mistake. I said. Called me simple. Told Jenna she owed her. That one had my name on it. I read it. Lauren's jaw tightened. It was a joke. Then I'm not laughing. I told her. Jenna leaned forward. Mark, listen. I know you're hurt, but you're also being petty. This isn't you. Stop telling me who I am. I said. You don't know. You know the wallet and the driveway and the grill in the backyard. You don't know me. Silence stretched long enough to matter. Tyler cleared his throat. Mark, he said, careful. Can I ask something? Shoot. Is there any path where the condo gets a month to transition? I can talk to a friend about a sublet, help move stuff. It's not nothing. That's reasonable, I replied. 1 month last time, but not with me carrying it. If Lauren wants to cover it, she can. If you and your mom want to split it, do it. I'm out. Lauren's eyes sparked. You can't just drop this on us. I just did. She stood, palms up. Do you hear yourself? You're abandoning your family. You're old enough to stop calling your mother's condo your family, like it's my sacred duty. I answered. You and I are a family. That unit is adult satellites. They revolve fine without my gravity. Patricia exhaled through her nose. This is a mistake, and you will regret it. I looked at Tyler. That all? He looked at his shoes. Almost. Lauren shot him a warning glance. I didn't push. I leaned against the doorway, weighed the room, and made it simple. Time to go? This house is not a courtroom. I'm not the defendant. I'm not the banker. I'm the guy whose name is on the deed and who is done buying respect. Patricia clutched her purse tighter. You can't talk to us like. Out, I said. One word. No frost, no heat. Tyler surprised everyone by nodding first. Let's go, he told them. We're done here. Tyler, Lauren hissed. Don't you dare. He lifted a hand. No, I'm not doing this to him. Or for you. Get your stuff. I'll warm up the truck. They filed out with a chorus of muttering. At the door, Tyler turned back, met my eyes, and gave the smallest nod. I returned it. The deadbolt clicked behind them. The air changed. Lauren stood there, shock dissolving into project management. You want to do this the hard way? She said. Fine. You want to embarrass me and my mother and act like you're some stoic hero? Fine. But I'm not going to let you paint me as the problem. Don't need to paint, I told her. It's all right there. She pointed toward my office. I'm serious. You want to cut me off? I'll take it to court. I'm not playing the cold roommate game while you hoard the accounts. You do what you think is right, I answered. I'm doing the same. She stared at me, trying to find the old version of me that would bargain. I didn't bring him to the meeting. The next week was paperwork and sleeping in shifts. She started leaving early and coming back later. When she was home, she was strategic, soft for an hour, distant the next. On Tuesday morning, she put a hand on my chest as I tied my shoes. Hey, she said, voice low, I don't want to fight. Let me make dinner tonight. No talk about money, no postmortems. Just us. Okay, I said. I wasn't giving ground. I was gathering. She made tacos exactly the way I like them and sat close on the couch like we were in our first year again. After an hour, she rested her head on my shoulder and sighed like a commercial. I miss us. We're right here, I answered. We're not, she said. But we could be. You know what I need from you? To stop making me prove things all the time. That's not love. That's surveillance. What I need from you is respect, I replied. That's not surveillance. That's table stakes. She was tender until she wasn't. At 10, she announced she was going to bed. And a minute later, I heard the quiet click of the lock on the guest bath, where she hides with the phone. Old rhythm, new song. I went to my office and updated the spreadsheet I'd started with dates, calls, and the text Jenna couldn't unsay. Not because I planned to shove it in anyone's face. Because truth likes company. 2 days later, an email arrived through my attorney's office. Lauren had filed a civil action for support and division of assets. The language painted me as a distant provider who'd abandoned a dependent spouse and her obligations to family. The petition was heavy on adjectives and light on dates. We got a hearing date in Travis County. I forwarded the document to myself and read it again without breathing. Then I sent one text to Tyler. You want to tell the truth or stay out of it? Your call. Hearing on the 14th. He took an hour. Then, I'll be there. Lauren saw the envelope on the counter that night and chose warmth as her weapon. She came into the garage while I was estimating lumber for a set of shelves. This is ugly, she started quietly. It doesn't have to be ugly. You filed, I replied. I filed to protect myself from you cutting me off without warning, she said. You put me in a corner. Corners are for things that don't move. You have agency. She stepped closer. I also have a heart. I don't want to turn this into war. Call your lawyer and tell him we can settle it ourselves. We can do a separation. Gentle. You keep the house. I keep the car. We make a plan. No drama. No court. No, I said. You're stubborn, she snapped. Then softened. Please don't do this. Not to me. I'm not doing anything to you, I answered. I'm letting the facts talk in a place where your sisters can't. Her eyes flashed. You're smug. You want to humiliate me. No. I want to stop subsidizing a story where I'm the fool. She tried one more angle. What if I move out next week? You keep everything. Just cover the condo for 2 more months so Mom can breathe. Then we're clean. You want out, I said. Then walk. But I won't buy your landing. She stared at me like she was trying to memorize my face for when she needed to hate it later. You're not who I thought. I am exactly who I said I was, I replied. I just stopped renting the costume you liked. Court day was gray. I wore a suit that fit and a watch that keeps me honest. Lauren came in with her attorney, a man who enjoys his own reflection. Patricia sat behind them, lips pressed thin. Jenna wore a blazer she thought made her look professional. Tyler came in last. No tie, hair combed like he tried, seat near the aisle. The judge had the calm of someone who's heard every version of every story twice. Lauren's attorney went first. He spoke about a devoted wife left unsupported, a woman who had oriented her life around a marriage only to find herself cut off when she needed help caring for an ailing parent. He held up a printout of my canceled autopay, as if he'd found a weapon. My attorney didn't do theater. He asked to call a witness. Tyler stood and walked to the front, swore in, and sat with both hands on his knees like he was driving a car through bad weather. State your relationship to the parties. I'm Lauren's brother, he said. Have you observed discussions about Mr. Bennett's financial support of the Maple Ridge condominium? Yes. What did you observe? Tyler looked at Lauren for a second, then at the judge. My mom and my sisters talk loud. I heard them multiple times. They joked about how Mark will pay if you make it sound like family. They said, if he asks questions, change the topic to control or privacy. It was a plan. Lauren's attorney objected to plan. The judge told him to relax and asked Tyler to speak in his own words. Tyler nodded. They talked about how to keep him paying. I told them it wasn't right. Did you ever see messages? Yeah. He shifted. Lauren sent me a screenshot by mistake once. It said, if he starts to suspect, I'll cry at dinner. And something about telling him she was at mom's. The room got very quiet. Lauren's attorney looked at his notes as if they would help. Did you observe any overnights by Lauren away from the marital home? Yes, he said. She stayed with a guy named Dan more than once. She told mom she was at mom's, but she wasn't. My attorney asked 2 more questions. Dates. Times. No adjectives. We submitted printouts of the mixed-up text, the finances, and my original memo offering a month for them to transition without me funding it. Lauren's attorney tried to paint me as controlling. He pointed to the bedroom argument. He asked Tyler if I ever yelled. Tyler said no. He asked if I ever threatened. Tyler said no. He asked if Lauren was frightened. Tyler said Lauren was the one calling the plays. The judge's ruling was brief. Support denied. Division request denied. The judge said words about adult responsibilities, credibility, and how sarcasm in a text has a way of stripping its own disguise. Then he thanked us like he was dismissing a class that had finally learned something. We filed out. In the hallway, Patricia brushed past me like I was gravity she could ignore. Jenna kept her eyes on the floor. Lauren walked tight, shoulders up, jaw fixed on some future where this would be my fault. Tyler waited. He stuck out his hand to me. For what it's worth, he said, I told them not to try this. I know you did. We shook once, short. He tilted his head toward the parking lot. Take care, Mark. You too, I said. Back at the house, I packed Lauren a box with her important things and left it by the door. I wrote a note. You can have the rest moved this week. I'll be out at the lake helping a friend on Saturday, so that's your window. Keys go on the counter. She came by that night with Jenna behind her like a human echo. They walked in talking big and stopped when they saw the box. Lauren picked up the note, read it, and laughed once. This is how you end it, she said. A checklist. It's how I end it, I answered. Clean. You are unbelievable. That's a popular opinion, and I'm fine with it. She paced a small circle like she was deciding whether to set something on fire. You wanted to hurt me, she said, tone flat. Mission accomplished. No, I said. I wanted to stop being a prop. You think you're a hero because you didn't scream? She pointed at the box. This is worse. This is cold. It's called boundaries, I replied. The warm version didn't work. Jenna opened her mouth, and I raised a palm. No more speeches from the balcony. Save them for someone who buys tickets. Lauren stared a second longer. You'll regret this, she said without looking at me, like she was speaking to the air. I pointed at the door. That way. She bent, picked up the box, and left. The house didn't cheer. It just got honest again. 2 months later, my mornings are simple. I live in a rental on the north side with a small yard and a garage that loves me back. I bought an old F-150 from a guy who swore it needed nothing and then immediately proved himself wrong. I rebuilt the brakes and didn't mind. On Sundays I golf with Luis and 2 of the night shift guys, and I'm worse than all of them, but improving. There's a woman named Erin who works at a flooring supply across town and laughs at my terrible jokes. We text at reasonable hours. We go for coffee and walks instead of dinners that feel like negotiations. When she reaches for her phone, she doesn't flinch. Work is good. I moved into a larger role. Cleaned up a mess in inventory. Earned a bonus that paid for new cabinets in the garage. Tyler swung by one Saturday with his truck and a box of tools his dad left him. We changed oil and talked about nothing. He said his mom moved in with a cousin for a while, and Jenna is suddenly a big fan of paying rent for the principle of it. He smiled, small and tired. Consequences have a way of teaching, he said. I nodded. I hear bits about Lauren through the grapevine. She moved into a smaller place. The new guy, Dan, turned out to be allergic to grown-up bills. She took a second shift. None of it makes me clap. It's just math. Last week, Lauren texted me a photo of our old porch at sunset like nostalgia is a ransom note. I typed 4 words and deleted them. Wrote 2 more and deleted those 2. Then I sent the only sentence that still needed saying, "I'm not available." She didn't respond. That was the actual ending. People think endings are big. They're not. They're a small hinge on a door that's been closing for a while. The door shuts. You hear the click. And then you turn and walk to the truck that you paid for, start it, and drive to meet people who speak plain and mean what they say. You stop subsidizing someone's story and start writing your own. You don't need applause. You need a steering wheel, a schedule, and a sense of what you won't tolerate again. I don't run. I don't forgive and forget like a doormat. I simply remember, and I act. That's the whole trick. If I'd known where it was headed, I would have checked the